What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Kickin with Kachi, where we highlight individuals that are really taking the industry by storm. Today, I have me I don't even know what the term is these days to call, because you're super young, but you got so much years in the game out here in the New England mountains and doing everything and anything possible to make sure that this place is woken the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about activism. I'm talking about catering, cooking, live events, event curation. We're talking about community engagement. You know what I'm saying? Like, Harmony
Wow.
Edosomwan
Thank you for having me.
coming in and kicking with me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So, obviously speaking, Vermont, widest state in the union, and we got all of you in one
Right.
package coming to Vermont. What is the experience like in now, right? Going to UVM, graduating, and
hmm
selling plates here and there, student stuff. But then now I'm an adult. I'm out here in the real world, and the real world for me is Vermont.
Right. Right. Yeah. Honestly, when I first came to Vermont, so I've been here, it'll be 9 years in August. And that's like kind of wild to say because when I first got here, I didn't think I was going to stay here. I thought I was going to go
Right.
back home to New York and kind of just do life like that or even move somewhere else. But I just hated Vermont. But it honestly took me like my fifth year living here. It was like that year where I was like, okay, I actually really like Vermont. It's actually a pretty cool spot. And I think it's because I was just like, I stopped focusing on all the wrong in Vermont and I just started focusing on all the beauty. And it made me like kind of fall in love with it. So now I love living here.
And it's interesting, right? Like 2020 happens, activism, Black Lives Matter movement. You're one of the premier young voices that's happening on the streets, on the scene, talking about injustices and fighting for social reform, right? What was
hmm
that experience like? And now kind of being a business owner in Vermont and, kind of advocating for our people and advocating for equality, but in a different sense.
Yeah. So from the moment I stepped foot in Vermont, I kind of like was, on the ground, kind of protesting against white supremacy culture. Because when I came to Vermont, 2016, that's when President Trump was elected, and so
Right.
we already kind of had that. We want to ensure that marginalized communities are not only censored but like safe. So yeah, from the moment I kind of stepped foot in Vermont, I was kind of like doing that work. And what that looked like before was like, a lot of protests, a lot of um, tactical ways of like getting the community engaged and like aware of things. But today, I guess my activism has kind of morphed into me kind of taking more of like a community organizer role. These days, I'm really advocating for food security for folks because, 1 in 4 Vermonters are struggling with food insecurity. And so yeah, and like
Hey.
we have a huge homeless population. We have a huge drug crisis happening. So I really just want to work on you know, making sure folks are fed, but also, the importance of building community.
And I
Yeah,
would
that's
say,
kind of
right,
my gospel these days, I would say.
coming in 2016, coming in 2020, Kanye got a lot of hate, a lot of negativity from this community in response to your activism. So
hmm
was it kind of a scary thought to think like these are kind of the same community that I now want to, empower me as a businesswoman, and I want to also empower through my business? Was there kind of a dissonance there in receiving that negativity and then still feeling like you want to be part of this community?
Yeah, I honestly, though I there's been a lot of folks saying a lot of wrong about some things, not necessarily about me specifically, but about the movement itself.
Right, right.
But there was so much more support that I honestly didn't really see a lot of the bad that people were saying about me. I was just flooded by support from folks. So for me, when it came time to start my business, I feel like that's why from the very beginning why my business was successful. It was because the community was, connected with whatever it was that I was doing. Really connected with my community organizing. So when I started my business, they just wanted to support me in any way that they can.
And why
Yeah.
specifically soul food, the Afro Latin fusion? What? Why specifically this genre? Because our people, we love cassava and fufu
Right.
and all these things. So obviously, hopefully, we can throw that into the menu very soon. But why
Right.
specifically soul food, and why did you feel personally connected to share that with the people of Burlington? And
Yeah, well, I believe that soul food is intrinsically African food. You know,
right,
it
yeah.
started on the shores of Africa. A lot of our traditional soul foods stem from a lot of African dishes. But I guess, being a student at the University of Vermont and kind of just experiencing Vermont and Vermont's food culture, I just noticed that, there wasn't really any soul food here. There wasn't any really like black food here. And I went back home one time on winter break, and there was a girl making vegan soul food from her apartment in New York, though. And so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I was like, we don't really have anything like that here. And so I was like, maybe I should do that in Vermont. And so that's kind of how I got inspired. I saw this girl doing her thing in New York, and I was like, I can do that in Vermont. Why not? And so that's kind of how I did it. Now, today, I've added more of like a Puerto Rican flair. I added more of like a Nigerian flair to it, which we have limited Nigerian items on our menu, but we're hoping to add some more and more on there as well.
I'm saying I need jollof rice on the wake up. I need that
Right.
ASAP.
Right.
And like moving into the steps, selling plates out of college. Like I remember when I first moved in 2021, you were selling plates then outside of your apartment, right?
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
moving on to catering, and now having a central location at the family room right here in Winooski. So congratulations on that. So what do you
Thank you.
feel like were the necessary steps or necessary decisions you had to make to really expand your business from a hobby to then a passion to then now a profession?
Yeah, so I would say definitely. So I started off kind of like, cooking in my apartment. So I was more so like a home caterer.
Right.
And I would say like um I think one of the most important steps is kind of just finding like an audience. Like, who are you trying to sell your food to? And have that person in mind when you're making all of your business decisions, I would say. And really maximize like your home. Like, if you're someone like me who, you know how to cook, maybe you don't have access to a commercial kitchen space right now, but you have your home. As long as you have a kitchen, like you can make money, I would say. And so I would suggest like literally making sure you get your home caterer license, make sure you get on social media and really grow your audience. Try to have a core audience that supports you, and just work on building your brand and just really maximize out your kitchen, I would say.
That gets into my next question, right? The education that's needed to like, right? As creatives, we all are creative. We all
Hmm.
are, intrinsically, thinking about this idea that we know can really resonate with other people. But the education that you need to now legitimize the business, where did you kind of grab your piece of education from? I don't remember in my deep dive where your exact degree is in.
Yeah.
But there isn't like manual on, hey, here's how you can build a successful catering business in
No.
Vermont. Like, where did you kind of find your education?
Yeah, I would say I'm mostly learning as I go. I graduated from the University of Vermont in 2021 with an English major and American Sign Language minor. So it had nothing to do with business, nothing to do with cooking, nothing. Um, and I honestly, when I started my business, I was like, I want to do this. My big sister was just like, get some takeout plates on Amazon and just go, like literally.
Right.
So I just like have been learning as I went along, like all so like from all my mistakes I've been learning from all like everything. But just recently I joined a program called it was put on by Goldman Sachs and NYU business school, and it's called Black Women in Business. And basically they take already kind of thriving ish Black women businesses, and they teach us how to like scale and grow. And so it's like a 10-week intensive program. And I learned so much from that on like how to scale my business, like kind of like how to like really deep dive in there. Um, so yeah, I guess that was also a necessary education. I think is going to take me from where I am to like the next step of where I'm trying to go.
You're very good at helping me segue because that was my next question. I was gonna say, what was the experience, right? Like you're coming from, it's so nerve wracking, right? I remember when I did my first pop up as a designer, and
Hmm.
you're around all these other artists, and they have like stickers and T-shirts and all this stuff, right? Like, and
Hmm.
obviously, like you are who you are, and you're doing amazing things. Was it kind of like an iron sharpeth iron situation, and you're
Mm.
in this room with all these amazing other black women that are other doing amazing things, and was it kind of like, oh my god, like this is like a Easter egg basket of just knowledge I can just take from?
Yeah, I would say this program, so I was surrounded by 300 other Black women from all over around,
Wow.
like all over the country. So like seeing it's just really important to be in certain rooms where you can see where folks are where you want to be, and there's also
Right.
folks who like may be on a similar path as you, but like they all have like their own knowledge and they have their own
Right.
pursuits. But the biggest thing was just seeing other Black women being able to say like I'm making $100,000 in a month, like
Right.
and being in those type of rooms and realizing if she can do that, I can do that too. Um, yeah, so it was definitely an sharpen iron kind of thing. And the thing about Black women is that Black women are very honest and they're very straightforward. And I had a mentor who straight up looked at my website before I just remodeled my website maybe like 2 months ago. But she looked at my website and she was just like, "Girl, you got to get it together." She was like, "This is not a professional website." She's like, "You've been in business 4 years, and this is." I was like, "Girl, God." Anyway, so
Honestly
I got it
speaking,
together.
hey, you need those people because like you feel like you're doing
Right,
everything so right, and then like something doesn't feel right. It's like sometimes this doesn't feel right, and then you need someone to be like, yeah,
exactly.
maybe you want
You
to set up a little bit,
right.
and obviously a lot better for it because the website looks amazing, right, and new
Thank you.
logo
Thank
looks
you.
amazing as well.
Thank you.
2021, you dropped Sad Black Girl, which is I'd say a memoir, collection of poetry, a collection of thoughts, philosophies, really to
Yeah.
connect about mental illness, specifically in with Black women, right? Like
Yeah.
tales of misogyny, tales of like self, reflection and grief and loss, and to then now have a soul food, right, company where that also serves as a form of therapy as well.
Mhm. Absolutely.
As fulfilling the soul, has that kind of come from Sad Black Girl, who Harmony was then? How do you
Mhm.
think that girl has now been implemented in who Harmony is today?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I would say today, like if I were to like write a poetry book, it would be called like Happy Black Girl. And that's because I'm just like in such a different place in my life now. Then when I wrote that, I was actually in college, and so I published it when I was I think maybe a sophomore or junior in college. And it was just tough. Like, going to UVM was like just really hard. Being away from home was hard, away from my family, and kind of like in this space where you don't have any family around you. Like, it's all like different people, different philosophies, a different way of living. And then one of the biggest things that impacted me was like the lack of cultural foods here, like not being able to just like get like I don't know Jamaican food when I wanted to or whatever.
Right,
That
right,
like really impacted me, which I didn't realize it would impact me so much. So I kind of like took all that and I was like, so what do I need here in Vermont? Like, what can I bring here? What can I bring to the community? What can I bring to myself that would bring me more joy? And so I kind of like started with food, I guess. And yeah, I guess that's where I am today. And I think through the business because I was someone who struggled with food insecurity when I was in college. Like I was like just broke, had no money, just like
you know
struggling to
how it
find
goes.
right, struggling to find food to eat and just struggling overall. Like my friends would be able to go out and I'm like I can't. I literally have
Right,
no money. And so being able to like grow this business and finally be financially stable, I feel like that was a huge part in me finding my joy and happiness, like not being in such like a survival mode
right,
anymore.
right,
Yeah.
right. And it's like, like I said, it's beautiful to see a trajectory, right? Because even in publishing that may have opened up the ability to heal, right?
Right,
And
right.
releasing a lot of that, and now healing, reaching to a point of then happiness.
Hmm.
And I think it's so remarkable. And I didn't give you your flowers. I told you congratulations online, but to have you congratulations in person and securing Miss Chittenden County VT,
Thank you.
right?
Thank you. Yeah.
Beautiful in the fact, and I always tell everybody like it's wild for me to think that a place as white as Vermont, right, but then
Hmm.
our Miss Chittenden County VT is a black woman, and I can only
Right.
think of how many sad little black girls can
Hmm.
now see you, right? Like I know you are in that rooms and like black women are making 100K a month, but the little black girls, even at UVM, right, that are also
Right. Exactly.
are having similar experiences as you, coming from where we come from, going to a place like that is not easy, right? It's a major culture shock to then see
Right.
you got to give you your flowers, got to say all the
Thank
praise for
you.
you, because just who you are and being in that position means so, so much to, the people that look like you. So tell us your experience in, pageantry. Have you done pageants before? Was that your first time? Like,
Yeah, I've never done a pageant before. So the Miss Vermont, so I'm Miss Chittenden County now, and for in Vermont specifically, we don't have to compete for our local titles because it's just such a small state. We tend to just we have to like raise. It's like a whole system in which how we get to select our titles, but it's not like competing to in a pageant, I guess. Well, we're competing in some degree, but. Um, so I was selected Miss Chittenden County. I already knew I wanted to be Miss Chittenden County, so I was so happy I got that. And then now all of us local title holders are going to be competing to be Miss Vermont.
hmm
So that's actually happening in May 4th, which is going to be pretty exciting.
that's very
And
exciting. I didn't even know how people do. I don't even know where the pageant process starts and ends.
right,
It's gonna be really interesting to kind of see it, like kind of a little
right.
bit closer to home and see it through your lens too. So you're excited? What is it? What do you
Yeah,
think is
I'm
gonna be?
so excited. It's my dream to be Miss Vermont. I feel like this role is a role that is just made for me. From the moment I stepped foot in Vermont, I wanted to bring the community together, and that's exactly what Miss Vermont does. She's, putting herself out there, bringing the Vermont community together and just serving the Vermont people. And I just feel like I just owe that to Vermont because Vermont kind of like made me the woman I am today. It's
Right.
blessed me with a successful business. It's blessed me with such like amazing people in my life. And so if I can spend the next year kind of just giving back, that would be awesome. But basically, I'm running under the Miss America organization. So I'm Miss Chittenden County now. By God's grace, if I win Miss Vermont, I'll be Miss Vermont. And then from there, I go on to compete for Miss America, which is
Wow.
all the states kind of competing with each other. Miss Vermont has never been a Miss America, and Miss
Right.
Vermont has never even made it to the top 10.
Wow.
So on the Miss America stage, so if I do win Miss Vermont, and if I do make it to top 10, that in itself would be history made. But if I happen to be Miss America, that would be also insane. But yeah,
We're all rooting for you.
thank
We're
you.
all rooting
Thank you.
for you,
The dream
honestly,
is though to
because
be Miss Vermont. I want to be Miss Vermont. That's like where my mind is right now.
and they say like the dreams of our ancestors, right? Like
Right,
to think that our family coming from a country like Nigeria and then
right,
being in here and just really making out on their own and trying their
right.
hardest to provide, and then to all culminate into the face of an entire state in the union is
Yeah,
like,
right. It's
it's a
crazy.
really big achievement. So, we're rooting for you. Good
Thank
luck
you.
out there. Like, and anything you need from the community, I am sure that we
The
have your
only thing I
back.
ask of the community is to collectively, one, pray for me, and two, manifest. If we can just all visualize me winning, I feel like that's going to help.
I just need to see, like,
Just all got to
like a nice
visualize it.
like the big perfectly shaped afro with a nice Vermont emerald green dress, like
Just imagine the crown coming on.
you
Let's
have a
all
crown of
imagine.
cottage cheese coming
Yeah,
on,
just all
like
visualize it.
I need it. I need it. I need to see my Miss Vermont. I'm gonna ruffle little feathers, but the blonde skinny look is out. It's a little overplayed. It's a little overplayed. We can mix it up. We can definitely mix it up. So America, please, please, please make this little black boy's dream come true and make Miss Vermont a black woman. Thank you. That's all I ask.
Amen.
That is all I
Actually, our
ask.
Miss Vermont 2023 was a black woman as well.
Really,
Yeah, right. It's
I'm
just like I
learning
feel
a
like
lot today.
yeah, that's okay. We have a few Black Miss Vermonts in our lineage, which is pretty cool. I don't know
Really.
if any of them has ever had hair like mine, or I don't know if any of them has ever been Nigerian. But yeah. But our Yamuna was Miss Vermont 2023.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay. Oh, what I'm saying? I'm sorry, Vermont. You do your thing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Vermont's
I,
actually pretty liberal in terms of this compared to so many other states,
some
but
things, right?
for sure.
And I would say, right, like a lot of people, like when I like, as you know, we moved to Vermont. People are like, Vermont, why would you do
Right.
that, right? And
Exactly.
obviously, it's like, oh, work or whatever have you, those excuses. But you're very much like, no, like this is my spot. Like this is
Right.
my corner of America. This is where I want to take over, and this is
Right.
where I'm gonna make my stamp. What Why specifically? What kind of made you go from hate to I kind of like it to all right, I'll stay a little bit, see what's going on to like, oh yeah, no, this is where home base is. No matter where I
Right.
travel to, Vermont will always be home to me or
I think
be
it's
a home
like,
to me.
right, exactly. I think it's like a few things. I think it's one primarily is the business. I feel like there's just a great niche and opportunity for my business situated here in Vermont, especially where I'm trying to go with the business, which is like, stepping more into the wedding industry, and being more of like a wedding caterer. Because Vermont is like the second, I think, I don't know when this data came out, but Vermont's like one of the top go-to destinations for weddings
Yeah,
in
it's pretty. Yeah,
America.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like really trying to like, make a path in there. I don't think there's any like top ranking caterers in the wedding industry here who are of color,
Right.
um, and making my type of food, all that stuff. But so that, but also I love the nature. The Green Mountains definitely keep me here as well. The summer's here. There's nowhere I'd rather be than in Vermont in the summer because I think it's awesome. Um, but yeah, I think those are probably my top two: the business, the nature. Um, yeah. And I don't think the winters are bad, but I'm hoping in the future I can live somewhere else in the winter. That's the plan.
Do a little, Harvey's Kitchen, West Coast situation,
Right,
like,
exactly, exactly.
and I'm a little nosy, so I have seen a little bit. I've heard a little rumor mill that you are working on another book, A
Yes.
B. Where do and I love these interviews because people get comfortable. They tell me secrets.
Yeah.
What's the book? What's going on? What's that gonna be about?
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. Because honestly, this has been a book in the making for like years now. I keep thinking it's going to be a thing that I do, and it just has been kept getting pushed back. But honestly, it's something that I've definitely put on like the back burner. I would say honestly, it's probably like off the stove at this point, just sitting. um, but that book kind of chronicles my time as an activist, and so it's kind of like me taking a look back, and it's like all my political poetry, all of my activism poetry, some stories from my time as like a student activist, a community organizer, um, and things like that. But I kind of wanted to kind of work as like it's a poetry book, but a memoir, and also me kind of just giving advice to the next generation of young activists.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
And I mean, it's off the stove. Hopefully, it's
yeah,
not in the freezer though. Hopefully,
right,
it's still outside thawing, so we can season it and get it all nice
right.
and put
I
it out.
want
So
like a reemergence of like, especially with our political climate that's happening today. I feel like
right.
this book would just mean so much to a lot of people. So I definitely feel like I need to bring it back. But that has definitely something that has like been dropped in my spirit over like the last 2 weeks. So it's funny that you brought it up again. So this is like confirmation that
I'm
I gotta
glad. Hey,
put on the
every
stove.
book, as I know, has been off the stove for years, and I'm happy that they took it back on the stove to write it, because people have
Right,
to share amazing stories. So I always
right.
know how writing a book goes, because
Yeah.
I've been trying to write a book since I've been 17 and I'm 26. So you know how those things go. But I'm glad
Right.
the fact that you're putting that together, and hope that the universe compels you to really sit down and get it done, because I think that's definitely what the
Yeah.
world needs. It's, like you said, especially now with the political climate going on, and in
Yeah.
reverse of that, right? Like, how do you now kind of view post Black in business, post like the years, and now establishing? I think it's interesting to like have a debut and be like, oh, this is what I want to do, and people are liking it, and you're getting traction, and
Mm,
then now you become the thing, right? Like the
right.
7 days articles happen, the news articles happen, the media places happen, and now you are known as this thing, which now serves a new beginning in that way, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
What is this kind of new chapter looking like and been like for you?
Yeah. It's kind of strange because the way I see my business a lot of times is a lot different than how other people see my business.
Right,
I still see my business as like a baby business. I'm still trying to
right,
like grow this thing. I'm still trying to do this thing. Well, I see it more like a toddler. Grow this thing, do this thing, and like um, there's just so many more heights that I'm trying to reach. Whereas
right,
like when other people see my business, they're like, oh, like she's like an established caterer. She's been in
right,
business
right.
for 5 years, blah blah blah. And so from I guess looking at from other people's perspectives, yeah. and I guess I started to take that into an account a little bit. So I've been kind of positioning myself a little bit differently, like as a business, and I'm trying to kind of focus on like I'm building this foundation, but now I'm trying to like scale. I'm trying to like
Right, right,
really be more of like offer our services statewide. I'm trying, like I said,
right.
break into this new industry that's like all new to me. Um, yeah, pretty
And
much.
I would say like it's good that you're remaining humble because it
Right.
is easy to kind of like people going on the street that recognize you. It's Harmy's Kitchen and get sucked into that
Yeah.
minute fame, minute like kind of recognition. When, as you said, your sights are a lot higher than
Right.
wherever
Exactly.
we are right now. So it's great that like that you're remaining humble and remaining steadfast to where it is. But I do hope in those moments it does give you a moment of grace and saying, oh wow, like I was that sad little black girl. I was
Mm-hmm.
sitting in college, hungry as hell because I couldn't have oxtail, and all I have while
None.
I'm stressed about tests is like Domino's up the street. Like
Right. Literally.
it's and not the guys as you say it must have been so bad because I had those moments too where it's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm stressed about life, I'm stressed about school, and I can't even eat the food that I want to eat. Like that must have been
No,
crazy.
it was
So
really
to give you the
crazy.
grace and understand that you've came so far from then to now, and you mean
Right.
a lot to a lot of people in the community.
Yeah, which I feel like interviews like these help me to like look back and kind of be like, whoa, yeah, like that was really cool. But I do
Right,
need to take more moments to just like sit and be like, wow, cool. Like this is good. Like, I've made it a long way and stuff. It just feels like it was yesterday for me
right.
still. So it's like I guess I'm still like catching up with everything. And I'm still like surprised, I guess, by a lot of things. Like when people do be like, "Oh, you're Harmony of Harmony's Kitchen." When I'm out in the street, I'm just like, "Whoa!" Like like I'm not really expecting that ever. And so, yeah,
You're Harvey. I'm like, am I? Are you sure?
right. Like what?
And like looking forward to like this year, are there any projects or anything that we should be on the lookout from you, um, or Harmony's Kitchen? So I know Chittenden County VT, I know Harmony, and I know Harmony's Kitchen
Right.
are all three things in your orbit right now. So what should we look
Yeah.
forward to?
I would say definitely if y'all are available to come and watch me compete for Miss Vermont, that's going to be happening May 4th, and tickets go on sale in April for that. And it's happening at Spruce Peak in Stowe.
Nice.
So if you're free, come watch me do my thing and cheer me on. So that's like a big thing. I'd say that's like one of my biggest things that I'm focused on right now. This summer, though, we're going to be kind of breaking out into like a lot of different markets. We're going to be at the Get Down again. We're,
Yay!
yeah, we're hoping to be at the new Burlington. So Burlington City Hall Park is doing like their own series. So hoping to be there too. And we're going to keep doing our takeouts and kind of like the same thing, just trying to crunch it and like do a bunch of catering events and things like that. But in terms of new, hopefully it'll be me doing all these things as the next Miss Vermont.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. And obviously, before we got out of here, I love to ask now a couple of questions just to give, like I always say, people that are watching this and they're looking at you, you're radiating. They said, hey, that's a person that inspires me to do work that I want to do as well. So you probably
Mm-hmm.
have some knowledge that you want to share to them.
Yeah.
First, obviously, what are wow, English degree. What are three lessons that you kind of take with you, right? That have been kind of your guiding compass in how you navigate just life in general, and then subsequently your
Yeah.
business.
Yeah. I would say, first and foremost, that life isn't linear, it's circular. And that's just my way of saying, like, just because something happens, that doesn't mean it's the end all be all. Or
Hmm.
even if just because you reach a new height doesn't mean that you're not going to come back to certain
Right.
points as well. Because life just it doesn't work that way. Like, you're always going to come back to certain points, and you always have a new opportunity to learn from, past mistakes or situations that you've been through. Um, I guess another one would be to just be genuine and be your authentic self. I try to just be myself no matter what room I'm in. And I've been in a lot of different rooms. It seems like that's just very different than a lot of things that I'm used to. Like even stepping into the pageant world, like that's just not,
Right.
I'm a girl from the Bronx, like that's just not where I was at all growing up. And so still being able to be like myself in these rooms is so critical. And I think, that's important. I feel like too often folks feel like you have to be a different way or a certain way, and you can still be yourself. And then I think lastly is, oh yeah, make a plan. Anything and everything you want to do in life, you have to plan for it. Plan out your days. Um, and you're more likely to accomplish something when you write it down than when you make a plan for it. So if you have a goal like 5 years from now, I want to be a millionaire, whatever, then you got to plan for that. It's just not going to magically happen.
And before
Yeah.
we head out here, do you have any advice for that black girl working hard, that black woman also working hard, your fellow black woman working hard, and just, the black women before you that have worked and are not passing the torch?
Yeah, I would say to the black woman who's out there grinding, doing her thing, to try to find community that you can lean on and that you can depend on. That's something that I'm still working on myself, like trying to build community that I can go to like just like be yourself and relax and stuff. Another thing is to like slow down if you can. Like I'm someone that's something that's I'm not used to slowing down, but I'm really trying to work on like resting, slowing down, and prioritizing pleasure over work or getting things done, you know? So, yeah, and just keep being you and go
I
to
like
sleep,
that
take a nap.
advice. I like that
Yeah,
advice, honestly, because black women especially are socialized to be like, as we see in this local climate, like the brunts of a lot of weight,
exactly.
right? So
Right.
I love that advice, right? Like the work can get done, but you also need to feel good about the work that you're getting done too. So take the nap,
Yeah,
please.
go to sleep.
Go eat the chocolate ice cream and go watch,
Right.
Love Island for 3 hours. Go do it.
Exactly.
Go do it. I know
Exactly.
you do. Go pay for your Sheen cart. I know it's waiting there. You think you need a little bit more money. You got the money. It'll come back. Just buy
Just
it.
go. Exactly. Exactly. Go on a vacation. Go to Jamaica. Jamaica's awesome. Go
I'm saying
relax. Do your
I'm about to
thing.
go in April. I'm trying to
Oh,
hey, I
nice. Where are you
I know what you
going?
mean. Hey, I got bills, but I gotta go to Jamaica too.
Dude, it's so nice. And that's a country that you feel like, okay, like, wow, like I can relax. Like I can
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
be yourself.
And like such
Yeah.
amazing food, right? Like such inspiration for you to like come back and
Exactly.
like just tinker with like different
Yeah.
seasonings and different flavors.
I
Like,
definitely did. I brought back some jerk seasonings I started to
uh-huh.
add to my jerk chicken and I'm like, wow,
Right.
this has upped the game tremendously.
That's what I'm saying. That idea of like pleasure being now the vehicle to be inspired and making the
Right.
work a lot less like work, right? Like
Right.
that's
Exactly.
amazing. So real life example for that advice, right? For you guys, ladies and guys, to really just take a step back and be like, hey, like breathe. We got
Right.
it, guys. Don't worry.
Right.
Harmony, do you have anything else before we head out of here?
Um, Anything else? You know, I'm not, there's so many other Black women-owned food businesses that are coming up, just even Black-owned businesses, food businesses that are out there. If you can support them, there's so many. Um, there's so many. I'm not gonna try to name them, but just search up Black food businesses here and support them. Everyone needs support, and everyone's trying to grind and make it. And if you're hungry, come eat with me on Sunday.
Yes, yes, yes. You guys could check out Harmony at the O'Brien Center at in Winooski. Winooski. The hours I believe are
Oh,
10
it's
a.m.
some Sundays 4 to 7.
4 to 7. Some Sundays. Check it out on her page at Lady Harmony, at Lady_Harmony. Lady is LADIE on Instagram
Yes,
at Harmony's Kitchen VT as well. So you guys can get all the updates, all the tunes, and all the videos so you guys can get hungry so you can go and get the food because the food is
exactly.
amazing. I've had the
Thank
cornbread.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
But thank you so much, honey, for coming in and kicking with me. I love the work that you're doing because, like I said, it's
Thank you.
important. The representation is needed, it is mandatory, honestly speaking, by my opinion. So thank you for
Yes.
fulfilling that request for me because I know that I have a lot of black girls that I work with in my day job that
Yes.
personally look at someone like you and feel empowered, just like how you did at that Black in Business workshop, and say I can do that too. So thank you so much for being that person for them as well. That's You are an amazing individual.
Thank you. And yeah, if you ever want me to come chat with them, I'm free to do that. I would love to sit down and talk to some of those teenage girlies.
Yes, yes, yes. Definitely set that up offline. But yes, thank you, Harney, for coming kicking with me. And thank you guys for another amazing episode of Kicking with Kachi that you can check out at the
Yay.
DC Voice on TikTok, on YouTube, and on Instagram as well. Check out me on Instagram at Onye.777, three of them because I'm lucky. Once again, Harmony Edosomwan
Thanks,
at
y'all.
Lady_Harmony on Instagram. You make sure you check out because she is going places you do not want to lose. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
yes, of course. Thank you, Harmony. And we're out of here.